If you enjoyed the video, you can support by liking and subscribing. Thank you.
Hey, what is up guys? IcePickPlays here. This video is going to be the third time I'm attempting to post a graphics showcase and mod tutorial and showcase video. The last one that I just posted got copywritten, got a copy strike threat, and so the reason being is apparently all of the road mod creators on GTA 5 are all dick riding bitches. Because both it's been a road mod creation or a road mod that's caused the copy strike, so I've removed road mods for this and I won't be covering those in my tutorial. Anyway, so let's get on to it. So what do I use? I use a combination of one, I have a good PC, guys. I'm just going to be blunt. So I have a good PC, okay? So when I come in here, you know, I have MSAA. I'm going to first show you guys my settings. So I play on an ultra-wide 1440p monitor, okay? Now you see I have 12 gigabytes of video memory. So the graphics that I run is FXAA on, MSAA times 4, NVIDIA TXAA on, and then this doesn't matter. Distance scaling all the way up, extended texture budget. This you just adjust to whatever you need in your server. Okay, ignore that. Textures high, shaders high, shadows normal, reflection quality high, reflection MSAA off, because it just causes frame drops. Water quality high, particles very high, grass quality normal, soft shadows softest, post effects high, motion blur I have off, anisotropic filtering at times 16, ambient occlusion normal, tessellation very high. Then in advanced graphics, I have my extended distance about halfway. So this is my actual game settings, okay? Then after that, I use reshade. The most recent reshade with every filter downloaded, okay? And then for things like the lights that are on buildings and the lights that are on the bridges and the street lights and the headlights, brake lights, emergency lights, those are through my visual settings that I modified myself, and I will show you guys how to install that later in the video. So that's about all that I use. Let's get into the showcase where I'm going to show off each one of the mods that are available in my G drive that I will cover how to install later. Let's go through each and every one of those mods individually. But before we do that, let's go over reshade. Okay? So I do not give out my reshade preset for one reason. One, every time I do it's broke, so get fucked. But aside from that, it's because everyone has different monitors. I have a different monitor than you. Most likely, you guys all have different color settings than me. Most likely, contrast is different, etc., etc. So the way to combat that is pretty simple. You can use the same filters, but I encourage you guys to adjust the colors yourselves. So let's get into it for starters, okay? Let's start by turning everything off that I use. Boom. This is what my vanilla GTA looks like with no modifications. I don't use any lighting changes of anything except for my visual settings file. But that's it. This is how my vanilla GTA would look. Still looks pretty good, right? Well, again, I run on very high settings, and I have a high-resolution monitor, so that helps. Let's start with, and you can search these, by the way, prod 80 _ 04 _ contrast, brightness, and saturation. When we turn this on, not much of a difference, but if you notice, the sky gets brighter. But down here, where my mouse is, the details get darker. You notice that? Well, everything gets brighter, but what I mean is, like, for example, right here. You see the shadows? How they're like a dark gray here, and they blend a little more. Watch how they become more defined with the filter on. You see, the coloration changes, becomes more defined. Next will be prod 80 _ 01 BRT color correction. This is again going to add some vibrance, some saturation to it. Now, granted, guys, this is up to you to change and fix, because some of you may like some of this stuff, some of you may not. Now, these are extremely, extremely subtle filters, by the way, so I'll show you what they do. Ambient light, we turn that on. You notice how it just looks like it gets a tiny bit brighter? Well, that value changes. Now, I want you guys to also remember things like ambient light, flare, Unreal Lens. These things are brighter at night because there's more non-natural light activated. So in actual light like this, they're not as noticeable, okay? So what is ambient light? It's you figure out the settings yourself, but when we turn it all up, this is essentially what it does. It adds a filter of, well, ambient lighting. And now, believe it or not, it does change when you turn around, but it is so strong right now that it's not going to show that. Let me do this here. Turn it down. And you guys can see the coloration actually does change a little bit depending on where I look. So I have this on, and I turn it just way down, so it's just you just barely notice it. Okay? And then now, let's move on to sharp contrast. Okay? This is not something that's noticeable from up here. Okay? The sharp contrast. Can't really notice it from down here. So let's go somewhere where you're gonna be able to notice the sharp contrast. Right here. Oh god, I'm going so quick. Right here should be a pretty good place to show you, actually. So when we turn on sharp contrast, you notice how ever so slightly all the little details, all the little lines here get slightly sharper. Okay? Now, I'm going to turn it up, show you what it does, see how that gets more detailed. You can adjust this to whatever values that you see fit, and turn that on. Next, we're going to do flare. Okay? So let's go somewhere where we can notice the flare. Flare, essentially, well, I mean, it does what it says if you know what a flare is. You see these little subtle flares up here at the edge where the sun is beating on a lighter color? It's a very subtle bit of bloom. And now again, you can adjust things like intensity, and it adds these nice little flare filters. I don't really like that much intensity, so I keep it pretty low. I keep it at like, we'll do 0.3. So I keep that pretty low, but that's flare. The next one is another more effects-based filter, which is Unreal Lens. You see these moving little, basically these moving little dots. They're very subtle, but you can see them moving depending on where I'm facing. That right there is Unreal Lens. Okay. Next, Smart Sharp. Turn this on, and it's going to add just a little bit of line sharpness again to make everything look better. Okay. Then finally, for the last filter to add the max amount of detail, we're going to use HDR, which is fake HDR. Turn that on, and boom. All of our colors get deeper and richer, and everything looks far more detailed. So boom. That is how you use my reshade. Okay? Go once again. You guys can take screenshots of this if you want. I use HDR, fake HDR, smart _ sharp, Unreal Lens, flare, sharp contrast, ambient light, then prod 80 BRT color correction, and prod 80 contrast, brightness, and saturation. Anyway, guys, moving on to the next part, let's move on to the rest of the showcase. Okay? The next mod that I use to improve things is called the Indian Ocean mod. It essentially adds a lot of clarity to the water. It's a little hard to see because it's getting dark. But this is a free mod available on GTA 5 mods. I'm not going to show you guys how to install this mod just because there's so many tutorials that exist. But it makes the water a lot more detailed. It makes driving along the coast a lot more fun. I recommend you check the Indian Ocean mod out at GTA 5 mods. It makes the rivers, if they would load in. I'm having textures break, I guess. It's not part of my mods, by the way. It's just this server sucks dick. You can see the rivers a little bit more clear. It just makes the game a little bit more enjoyable, I would say. Alright guys, as the sun goes down, we can showcase the visual settings more once it gets dark. Next, I want to go over the next bit of file that is in my mods folder, which is my resident file. It comes with the footsteps that you hear, which you can't really hear them from here. Let me step down to a road so you guys can hear these footsteps. Alright, also I'll turn off walk. So my resident file has, for any of you GTA fans, that right there is GTA 4 footsteps. So GTA 4 footsteps are installed, so keep that in mind. Accompanied with it is also NYPD rumblers as the siren. I'd showcase them, but this stupid server has server-side sirens. Then it also has my my gun pack, you know, my weapon sounds. There you go. And my weapon sounds are a mix of the free realistic weapon sounds on GTA 5 mods, and then it is full of mods full of sounds that I edited myself. I'm working to convert the entire thing just to my recorded sounds, but it's a piece at a time. So the main weapons for cops are what I focus on. Cop RP is what I do. So for the pistol, heavy pistol, SNS, we'll go through some of the basic guns here and kind of give them a listen here, okay? First, we're going to start with just the normal pistol, okay? Let you guys have a listen. So that's the sound of the normal pistol. Do heavy pistol next. Go SNS pistol. This is a common one on the drilling servers. Move on to our combat pistol. And then our pistol Mark II. Very nice. Now let's move on to machine pistol. I just chose some random guns, by the way. Little pea shooter right there. The next, our advanced rifle. Carbine. And then we'll move on. Let's do the shotgun here. So that all is available in my Resident. Everybody knows that vanilla GTA has some very shitty vanilla cop car lights. But now as it's getting dark, we can actually show these off. You see, this is where flare and stuff like this really starts to show up. But anyway, even these vanilla GTA lights just look fabulous at night here with this visual settings mod. They look very, very, very nice. But granted, it also turns the interior lights red as well. And as we come down into the city here, and as everything starts to kind of render, we can start to really see these nice lights and the way that these street lights work. How bright everything is here, all these lights. This is in the visual settings, which I will show you guys also how to install. Next, let me show you the two-handed grip mod, okay? This is the mod that you see in there that's very simple. All it does are the animation menu. All it does is this. With a few of the select main pistols, so not every pistol is going to do it, but a few of them will. Whenever you get in cover, your character will grip them with two hands. Now, this mod is not... The original mod is on GTA 5 mods. I took it, I converted it into an easy-to-install RPF for FiveM. So that part was done by me, but the mod originally came from the, I think, the ped cover animations mod from GTA 5 mods. And also, it changes the way that you hold some of the basic and run with some of the basic rifles. As you can see, the character's going to run differently, cooler, more realistically with the rifle. So that's the animations mod. Alright, the next thing that we're going to cover, and the final thing that we're going to cover in this video, is going to be the Blood mod and the Ragdoll mod. Now, the Ragdoll mod is Rage Euphoria, which is on GTA 5 mods for free. We've taken it into an RPF, converted it into an easy-to-install RPF that works client-side on FiveM. Then the Blood mod is also a Blood and Gore mod that I have edited some of the puddles and some basic shit, and we've edited the values of the code and converted it also to a .rpf. So those are available, easy installs. I'll kind of show you what that looks like right here. So this works on players and civ peds. You can see with the blood, we have all this mist. And then that blood was leaking from his head right there. You can't really see it from here, but that's part of the blood mod too. Oh my god.
Already. Don't even try to do it.
Oh, he's like all stiff and shit. Jesus. That fucking looks horrible. Oh my god. This dumb pistol. Oh, oh.
You alright? What the hell?
We couldn't wish for anything else.
Okay, anyway, you guys get the point. So anyway, guys, that is a full list of my mods. Let's get into how to install them. Alright, let's start off very simple. Once you enter the G drive, you will have this in front of you, okay? This is going to show you all the different mods, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's start with the blood mod. What you would do is you will download the blood_mod RPF, okay? Once you do that, you will go to your FiveM applications data, and then go down to your mods folder. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to drag and drop it in here without archive fixing it. Get on FiveM and test it to see if the blood works. If the blood doesn't work, then archive fix the .rpf and then try it. And if it doesn't work then contact me. I'll help you. But anyway, next, let's move on to the two-handed pistol grip or the animation. Same deal. Download the animations.rpf, drag and drop it into your FiveM mods folder, test it to see if it works. If it doesn't work, archive fix the RPF, and then try again. Same thing with client-side Euphoria. You do the same thing. Download it, put it in FiveM mods, try it. If it doesn't work, archive fix it, try again. Then the sound pack. Okay? When you download the Resident and the player, or the weapons_player, you're then going to go to your library, or go to your GTA 5 files, do it however you want, but the way that I do it is I go to GTA 5, my games list, go to local files, browse local files, and then this is where I get it from, personally. So here we go. Okay? Now, where you will put your resident and weapons players is pretty simple. You go to common. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. I'm stupid. Go to X64. Go to audio. SFX. And then drag and drop them into here. They are likely going to need to be archive fixed. If you don't know what archive fix is, YouTube it and get a download link from them. I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to do archive fix. You guys can figure that out. It's pretty simple, though. Okay? Then once you have that, you can go back here. Then let's go back into here. So you got my sound pack, you got the Euphoria, you got the two-handed pistol grip, you got the blood mod. Then how to download Reshade is its own thing. So now that we're back in our FiveM mods thing, we can go to emergency and world lights. This is the visual settings.dat. Now where does this go? Download it, okay? Then go to your Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, go to Common. Then your GTA 5. go to X64, okay, and drag and drop it right here. You will see metadata, sky dome, visual settings, and then go up to common, data, and then I also drag it here. You'll have levels, time cycle, HBAO settings, then visual settings. Drag and drop it here as well. Once you have done that, go to your FiveM applications data. Go into mods and then drag and drop it here. Then you go back to your citizens folder. Common, data, then drag and drop the visual settings here. Once you have done all of that, then installing Reshade, same thing, look up a tutorial. Once you have done all of that, you now have all of my mods, and they should all be working. You have my visual settings and everything. My Reshade preset doesn't work. You got to do it for yourself. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming by. This is IcePickPlays. See y'all later. Head down to the description. Join our Discord. Adios. Also follow on Twitch. Bitch!